Hey, yo, what's up, Out Squad YouTube? It's Charles Down again. It's y'all just that Go Hard to Go Home channel. So, hey, let me tell y'all something. The sound box is on the fritz for right now, so there won't be no claps and stuff like that tonight. But I was on live a little bit earlier this morning with some of my homies, and there's a guy on there that asked some questions about, I'm trying to tell women this, I'm trying to tell women that, and I'm trying to get this guy to understand that women ain't never gonna understand that. So what I decided to do is put together a little class, come on here and talk a little bit about it tonight. For me, about 30, 45 minutes, whatever. I got about 6 videos we're going to watch. And I've got a list of stuff that we're going to go over before we go into that, okay? So here's the deal. Most women are some form of narcissist, guys. If you start to look at the traits of narcissism, you're going to find out that most women are there. We're going to talk about that a little bit in the beginning here, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into this. Of course, also, if people want to talk, they can step up on the platform and speak. We got the link up there. And in the comments, we're talking about that too. So you let me know what you think. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get to this list, all right, and get that out of the way. All right. First things first. You saw this as the thumbnail that I put up for this video. Most guys probably saw this. People that clicked on it now have seen this. And if it's your first time watching me, hey, look, just know that I dropped the comics and I let everything I know as from a educated point of view. So this is from the Physician, whatever site, psychiatry site. Okay. And they broke down the word narcissist. And when they broke down the word narcissist, they got these things that it says for. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to see all these traits in women. So the first one, when they say in, needs excessive admiration. I mean, I don't think I'll tell guys that one. That's happening. So you all know that. You know what I'm saying? The videos and everything else, and just dating women in general, just talking to women in general. You know they need excessive admiration. They need excessive to be told you love them. They need to be, it's just, you would think that they wouldn't need that because of what you're doing. But they do. They still need it. And it's excessive. So that's the end. So I'm telling you that right there is on the way. Let me light this up right quick, guys. Yeah, I had to get that bad boy going. A lot of broke them in the last minute, so I had to use stove. Arrogant and grandiose. This is most women in general. Y'all already seeing that one. Grandiose, if you don't know what that means, it bigger than life. Look at these women that's walking around with this first character energy, all this hair and nails and looking all good. And you know this bitch broke because she live where you live. That trait is right there. Okay. Reacts with rage to criticism. What woman does not do that? You tell them anything, they get pissed off. I'm just saying we look at the reasons why tonight, and we go on the other when we're watching the videos, y'all gonna see even more of this. So it is what it is on that one. So just understand. Controlling behavior. This is what women tell you what you thinking and what you feeling. And all guys know that all women do that. You might be telling them this and they be like, you thinking this, you feel like this right here, and you're like, no. That's what it is. Inflated sense of self-importance. Okay. That's just modern women in general. I'm saying most, but that right there seems to be all of them. If you're looking at the videos, you look at when women saying they want for guys to talk to them and all the good stuff, it's just way too much. Inflated sense of self-importance, okay? superficial charm. All guys experience this with women. They're not as charming as it was in the beginning because you found out later on that charming was superficial. It was top level, and the rest of them is garbage, or not, not garbage, but bad and or hard to deal with. Let's just put it that way. Let's say it like that, and then that way, what I'm saying, it's not that bad. Self-absorbed and lacks empathy. Okay, this is all pretty much the modern women because the guys, they're self-absorbed and they don't really care about what the hell you think. This is why you having this conversation. This is why I got to make this video to tell you that these guys are self-absorbed, that the women are self-absorbed and lack empathy. They don't give a damn what you think. And you should already know that by now. So it shouldn't be too hard to get that one across. Intense envy of others. Just think about how much women feel about each other. Just think how much they hate each other. They act towards each other. Sense of entitlement. I don't got to explain that one. Any guys watching this, and most guys are probably watching the Man's Friend, the Red Pill, and all the other good stuff, and watching other women videos, and sense of entitlement is just there. So you already know what that is. Triangulation and manipulation. This right here happens all the time with women. And you as a guy, if you're watching this, you already know that it does. Okay? They don't just try to get you to be upset. They want other people to be upset with you. How many times you had a woman pull this on you? How many times? So before we even go there, before we even get into the videos, if you look at this list right here, you're already kind of seeing that, yeah, that's what it is. So if you're watching right now and you got to understand that, drop something in the comments, let me know about that. But here's the deal. That is what it is. Every man that's watching this right now, or that will watch this, knows that these traits that I just got done going over and I just got done explaining all have happened to him. You know this. So that one kind of is what it is on that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into some of the videos. Okay. Now, here's the thing about these videos, guys. All right. We got about 6 or 7 videos we're going to look at tonight. 3 of them from guys, self-aware narcissists. Okay. That are going to tell us what narcissists actually do. All right. Now, some guys like, why did you get ones of women? You know what? Because I could not find women admitting to being a self-aware or diagnosed narcissist. I could not find that. So that right there, while we're already going into the information in the experiment here, might be a good example or might be something good that we can look at already. If you can go on TikTok, if somebody can find one with women, there's a woman, and then get it to me, I will do a review on it and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, I couldn't find any women that were saying it, so I had to go with the guys. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to look at one of the guys right now. We're going to go through these, and I'm going to comment on those. We're going to talk about a little bit about those right there. And we're going to move on through this and showing that most women are some form of narcissist. Now, when these guys talk about it, they're going to be telling the exact story of how it is. So that's also a good reason why I picked the guys, because here's the thing. They're telling it like it is. I knew I was wrong. I know I'm jacked up. And I know I'm doing the wrong thing. And see, that's why I think I didn't find women that would say it. That's why I think it. But you let me know what you think in the comments. So we're going to go ahead and go with the first video. Let me get this joker right here. I have to pause this jump before I go into it. So I'll be messing it up. But this guy is called Lee Hammond. There. And he's a self-aware narcissist. And I'm going to let him talk a little bit about what he got to say about it.
They are treating you how they really feel about themselves. And of course, if you're new here, I'm actually a diagnosed narcissist. I get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people in my one-on-ones that ask me, Lee, why do these narcissistic people keep treating me so bad? Because they feel bad about themselves. A lot of times, narcissistic people internally, we don't like ourselves. It's borderline hatred. Some narcissists do hate themselves, and you will know because they will treat you like they hate you, right? But in reality, they hate how you make them feel about themselves. I hate how you make me feel about myself because you're kind and happy and genuine and authentic, and you can go ahead and live your life and be who you really are. You don't have to be fake. I hate that about you. It makes me feel fake. It makes me feel bad about myself. So I have to take it out on you. I have to make you feel bad about yourself because I feel bad about myself. You see what I'm saying? So the next time you're wondering, like, why they treat me so badly? Because they treat themselves badly internally, right? They're beating themselves up internally. I'm hammering away at myself on the inside. So I express that externally on the outside and treat you badly.
Okay. So I want y'all to notice a couple things he brought up in there. It's like self-hatred. And a lot of women, if y'all don't know, got low self-esteem. They don't like themselves. They're always a competition with other women. They don't say it, but it is what it is. All right. But these are some of the traits that you got to be looking out for. And you already know that most women got these things. So he's telling you that that's a narcissistic trait. And he is one. So how can you not say it about another one? Just going to point that out to y'all. Most women fall into some of the kind of categories he was talking about. I can't stand myself. I treat other people bad because I can't stand myself. And most guys know this. They know this. And we just try to deal with the women anyway because we want to be cool with them. We want things to be better, but they got their own personal problems. So it's like this man got done saying in this video right here. Okay? Narcissists treating you bad because they feel bad about themselves. Most women feel bad about themselves. Look at all the makeup. Look at everything they gotta do to keep each other. You know, just look at it and be honest with yourself about it. Most women probably hate themselves, so they probably gonna treat you bad. They put on makeup to make themselves look different. They everything they can they can do. They do it to not be who they are. So think about that one. Okay. We're gonna move to the next video here.
Let me tell y'all how crazy it is, y'all, how crazy we are. The narcissists, y'all. We cheat, y'all. We lie, we ruin you, and we still hate you. Like, we'll literally cheat, lie, ruin you, and still hate you. We still hate you. Let's talk about how insane it really is, y'all. See, like I said, we'll cheat on you, lie to you, gaslight you, ruin your peace, break your spirit, and still somehow end up hating you. We'll do all that I just named and still end up hating you. We'll be the one sneaking around but convinced you were ungrateful. We'll destroy your trust and then flip it and say you were too emotional. We'll cheat and then get angry that you went through our phone. We'll cheat and get angry that you went through our phone. You know you can't go through my phone. We don't like that. See, we'll lie. We'll do this too. Like, we'll lie and then accuse you of being too reactive. We'll break your heart in 10 different ways. I'm breaking you down like a Christmas tree in 10 different ways. And then tell people you were too hard to love. See, that's the narcissist mindset, y'all. That's our mindset. Sick. We crazy demons. We don't just cause damage. We erase the evidence and write a new story where you were the villain. Where you were the villain. And look, like, you know the sickest part is we believe it, y'all. That's the sickest part. We believe it. Because we don't want to face the fact that we took someone loyal, loving, present, and dismantled them for sport. We dismantled you for sport. Sport broke you down like a Christmas tree. So instead, we focus on every moment you cry, every time you snap, every text you sent when you were hurt and confused. And we tell ourselves that was the real problem. We tell ourselves that was the real problem. Not the betrayal, not the manipulation, not the emotional terrorism we put you through. Not the emotional terrorism we put you through. Nah, we'll say you were crazy, insecure, too much. And the entire time, you were trying to hold on to something we were actively destroying. You were trying to hold on to something that we were actively destroying. We hate you. not because of what you did, but because deep down we know you didn't deserve any of it. And that shame, we project it onto you. We project that shame that we feel onto you. We blame you so we don't have to face ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. Basically projection. We blame you so we don't got to face ourselves. You feel me? We make you feel like the enemy just so we don't have to admit we were the ones who started the war. I'm going to say that again. We made you feel like the enemy so we don't have to admit that we're the ones who started the fucking war. Y'all save, like this, repost this. It's your boy Middle Chosen One, Self-Aware Narcissist, book a 101. Get my books, link in my bio, Amazon, DM me. You want my books, you want a book of 101, DM me if you can't get it. It's your boy Middle Chosen One, Self-Aware Narcissist. I love y'all. Let me tell y'all how.
Okay. So what homie here just got done explaining the simple fact of this right here. And if you look at it, what he's saying, we blame you. We did wrong things, but we blame you. But isn't that the complaint that most guys have about women these days? That the women they're doing wrong things, but they blame you. And this is the truth. It is the truth. A lot of them, they doing wrong. You would probably try to do better by them, but the deal of it is since they're not on that, and you trying to understand that, but then they blaming you for the reason of them not being on it. And it's kind of happening with this, but the same thing he's saying is what happens to a lot of women. So you got to understand that. We're going to move on to the next video. Let's get on into this next guy right here. But guys, you got to start understanding. Like, I'm showing these videos and stuff right here. Like I said, I got a couple of them with women that are talking about, they talk about it, but they didn't say that they're self-aware. But these guys are self-aware and they're telling you how it's acting. And when you see how these guys are talking, you see that that's how women be acting. So let's go ahead and move to the next one and get that on out and get that one going.
Narcissists project their fuck shit behaviors onto you at an insanely high level, y'all. And if you are new to my channel, I am a self-aware diagnosed narcissist. Narcissistic personality disorder is a shame-based disorder, guys. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, think of it this way. Think of them avoiding being ashamed of anything that they do. They will avoid feeling ashamed of themselves for any of the maladaptive fuck shit they do at all costs. Narcissists at their core are very ashamed of who they are. They're ashamed of their insecurities. They're ashamed of their failures. They're ashamed of the literal way that they treat people, because deep down, they actually hate themselves. Narcissists do not think that they are all that at their core. They actually do hate themselves. I know on the outside, they look very secure. They look very much in control of things and larger than life. But to be honest with you guys, narcissists are really insecure deep down. And this is precisely why narcissists create this facade and this mask of how grandiose and perfect they are. It's their defense mechanism to keep them from feeling like a bad object, from feeling like, they're full of the shame. Now, after the initial love bombing stage of a relationship with a narcissist, after they have started taking you off the pedestal and devaluing you, they are going to project everything onto you. They're going to project anything that they have going on inside them onto you. They do it so they don't have to feel it, guys. Narcissists are pro-level experts at making themselves and you believe that you are all the things that we are. And honestly, narcissists have a very negative outlook on life and people. We really don't believe that the world is good. We don't believe that people are good. And in addition to that, we actually think that everybody is just as bad as we are. And so, you know what? If we're accusing you of cheating all the time, then it's probably because we're cheating. If we're saying that you're a lying piece of shit, that means that we're a lying piece of shit. We're insecure, so we accuse you of being insecure. Everybody knows narcissists manipulate people all the time. And so what are we going to do? Accuse you of being a manipulator. We're also very obsessive. I've went over that in other videos. And so you see where we're going with this, guys? If I'm obsessive, then I'm going to accuse you of being obsessive. If a narcissist says that you are annoying and pathetic, which that's two things that I know that we love to tell people they are, that means because deep down we feel like we're possibly, or actually we know that we are annoying and quite a bit very pathetic. All the things, all the negative things that we accuse you of being, we know deep down that that is us. And that's why we project that all onto you. Over time, you're going to start feeling like you are us. You're going to start feeling like the narcissist, and you're going to start thinking that you are. I just got off the phone with a client earlier, and she told me 15 times during that conversation that she thought she might be a narcissist. And that's because this woman has been carrying the guilt and shame and burden of everything that this man has been projecting on her for the last year of her life. Over time, putting all of our character flaws and all our shame onto you makes the narcissist feel better about themselves. They start to feel like this grandiose, wonderful being that they've always known they were, because this is all your fault. You're the one that's doing all this fuck shit, not me. And once you start to react to the narcissist in a reactive abuse way, and you start, mirroring their behaviors to you, now we can use those actions to gaslight you, make you feel crazy, and prove to you and the world that you're everything that we've been saying you are all along. Now the narcissist is superior to you. They're the perfect being they always thought they were, and you have now turned into the narcissist. Real talk.
Okay there, guys. So see, here's the thing. That's why I picked the videos with the guys. We're going next into some videos with women that are going to be talking about this stuff, but they're not saying that they are narcissists, not telling how it is from a narcissist point of view. But if you look into it from the guys, what they're all saying, it all sounds like the shit that most guys have been through. Where women flip everything on you, even though it's their damn fault or their dog or insecurities and then and that. So, if you watch this right now, you drop the comments, let Unc know if you done been through that. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this next video, and we're going to see what some of the ladies have to say about it. Because here's the thing. I didn't find any videos with women saying that they were self-diagnosed or clinically diagnosed narcissist. Okay, women maybe you can find one if you do, drop it in the links and stuff and say, hey, look, and I'll go do a video about it. But I didn't see any women that were saying this. But right here we got like a doctor lady, and she's in the next two of them that's going to tell us about it. So let's look at that real quick.
Online, people are saying this one's a narcissist, this one's a narcissist, my ex-boyfriend's a narcissist, and that word is getting thrown around. What does it actually mean to be a narcissist?
So according to the DSM, the book that we use to diagnose people, 1% or less of the population is a narcissist. So that means your boyfriend is probably not. However, that doesn't mean he's not an entitled asshole. Okay, I'll give you that. We misconstrue a lot of things. They're, needing to have attention. People go, oh, he's a narcissist. Or he said something to me I don't like. He's a narcissist. He treats me a certain way. He's a narcissist. That's not necessarily true, because a true narcissist will come for you. And I talked about this before. They will try to ruin you financially. They will try to ruin you emotionally. They will gaslight you. They will put it online. But they also do a lot of things behind closed doors. And that's where a lot of people get confused. For example, they'll say, oh, well, he got me really upset and then just videoed me and put me online. That doesn't mean he's a narcissist. He may have gotten sick of your behavior. And a lot of times people say they don't see their own behavior in this situation. So not that you deserve to be screamed at, but if you're screaming at somebody or acting a certain way and they scream back, that doesn't mean they're a narcissist. They have to have certain markers. Mm-hmm. And 99% of the population doesn't. But people like attention. They want attention on TikTok. They want followers. They want views. And they like to throw words around they don't have knowledge of. And there's a lot of self-proclaimed therapists and coaches on TikTok that have no business being there. And you also see people screenshot. I see this on Instagram a lot. They'll have full conversations and just screenshot a one paragraph and go, look at my narc. And then all these women go, oh my God, he's a narc. Oh my God, he's a narc. They need validation from people. So if you're posting stuff to need validation, you got to look within and say, why am I doing that? Before you push blame on the other person. Because I always look at that and I say, there's two sides to every story. What don't I know? But people online don't ask those questions. They want to just jump in and be heard. Everybody wants to be a TikTok star. So they'll post anything to get views. But I said it before, you're not dating a narcissist, because if you were, you wouldn't be posting that. He'd come for you, and you would not be alive to tell the story. So that's important to think about.
Online.
Okay. So what she's saying is that, like, if you're really with a narcissist, and most guys are, and they don't really tell the story because, you know, she's gonna be in another video later, and she's gonna explain why guys don't really tell the story about it because what I'm saying, you the behavior, the stuff, what I'm saying, most guys not gonna tell that. So here's the deal. Like I said, I didn't find any women that were saying I'm a self-diagnosed narcissist the way I did with the 3 guys. But when I found women, they were talking about it, but they talked about it from the point of view that this woman is kind of doing. So we're gonna watch another one, and we're gonna see what you're saying in this one, okay? Because she's gonna hear about patterns of narcissism relationship. When women talk, the women I found, they are talking about it, but they're not saying that they are a diagnosed narcissist. It's really like a doctor or something talking about when it's a woman. But it's guys that were explaining. That's why I put the guys in there, because they actually told what it was. But let's watch this one right here and see what this lady's talking about again.
Walk me through the consistent, you talk about narcissism being consistent. Walk me through the consistent pattern of a narcissistic relationship so that anyone who's listening can, because I think, like you're saying, a lot of us sometimes feel scared to admit that we might even be with a narcissist because it's scary to accept that and admit that and have that realization because we think it's something to do with us. We think we've wasted time. There can be a sunk cost bias of, I thought I had a future with this person. So walk me through the pattern of a narcissistic relationship.
Let's just talk briefly about their piece first, because it helps us understand the pattern. They have traits, things like I talked about, the entitlement, the lack of empathy, the grandiosity, the arrogance, the selfishness. I want you to think of a narcissistic person as a volcano. And that volcano has got this bubbling lava. And the lava for the narcissistic person is shame and insecurity. So they want to be able to plug the top of that volcano, right? And that plug is all this stuff, the entitlement, the grandiosity, I'm perfect, I'm great. It's this, so it keeps all that stuff under wraps. That's not a conscious process, right? So, but every so often in life, something's gonna push that lid off to the side, which might be feedback, a criticism, somebody ends a relationship with them, whatever it is, their day doesn't go the way they want. They get stuck in traffic and they're late to something. They don't get the table they want in a restaurant. Whatever it may be, that nudges that manhole cover over and the lava starts spilling out. And that lava is their rage and their anger because their shame has been shown. All of this is unconscious. So all these patterns in the relationship, the way they show up in the narcissistic person is manipulation, invalidation of the other person, minimization of what another person is going through, gaslighting, rage and reactivity, future faking, which means promises are made and broken just to keep a person sort of on the hook. There will be blame shifting. They won't take responsibility. They'll always blame the other person, which is why people in these relationships always tend to blame themselves. There's a lot of deceit, betrayal, lying, infidelity. There is neglect. Over time, they just give less and less and less to the relationship. And the person in the relationship is trying to make do on the tiniest bits of being noticed. That's how they show up in the relationship. Everything in the relationship is about them getting supply and validation. They have absolutely no interest in the needs, wants, and honestly, the subjective reality of the other person.
Now here's where it goes. Here's where it goes. I'm talking about, like she's telling you now, and you're already seeing it in modern women and stuff. It's nothing about what you want. It's all about what they want. So I'm gonna let her finish.
The relationship. Over time, the other person gets almost as considered an inconvenience. If you want something, you're an inconvenience. Much like this cup. Cup's convenient when I want to drink from it, but if the cup all of a sudden said, hey, can you take me to CVS on the way home? Like, what, cup? You're a cup. Don't tell me that. So they view us in that sort of objectified lens. All of these dynamics mean that over time, in order for the relationship to work, the other person has to entirely sacrifice themselves and buy into the reality system of the narcissistic person. But that doesn't all happen.
Knows what she said. And that's what's happening with modern relationships. In order for you to be in it, you're going to have to take everything the woman is wanting, and you get nothing. If that's not a narcissistic trait, and this woman she's a doctor, she's gonna tell us another one. I got another one in here. She's gonna talk about how women uses it directly, but she's saying it. So let's just let that sink in, and let's roll on.
Overnight. Oftentimes, at least in an adult narcissistic relationship, whether it's an intimate relationship or friendship, that early phase is very idealized and seductive. It's called love bombing, but it's really this phase where they're winning, not only winning you over with gestures and tactics, but with attunement and attention, or seeming attunement and attention. They pay intense attention to you. But what you realize afterwards is some of that intense attention was them learning things about you that were going to be turned around and used against you down the road. That's often a point of devastation for a person who says, I was vulnerable with this person. I told them things that I'd never told anyone before. And then 6 months in, I was being shamed and humiliated, and it was being used to sort of destabilize me.
And this right here kind of goes back to what most guys say, that I told women stuff that was wrong about me, and then she turned around and used it against me. Just a thought. Let's keep going.
There is a point where that love bombing phase then starts heading into a place where there's 10 good things, one bad thing. Oh, one bad thing. Everyone has a bad day. 9 good things, one bad thing. Over time, though, that ratio pretty much comes to like maybe 1 to 1. So now you're having as much difficult, challenging stuff, and then these little sprinklings of good things happening. That's the origin of the trauma.
Walk me through the consistent.
So see, it's just like I done telling y'all. You got to be down for this person. You can't talk against them. She just got to understand that she's a doctor. I'm not. Okay. Over time, you're not getting nothing, and the other person getting everything. And that sounds like modern relationships with women these days. It's why a lot of guys have opted out. We go ahead and get to the last video tonight, and we're gonna get ready to get out of here. But this lady right here is about to explain it again. And the thing about this is that she's going to tell you exactly how women use this thing. Exactly how. Okay? So we're going to get into that one for a minute.
Narcissistic women hide behind femininity. We mistakenly think their preoccupation with the physical appearance is normal. We ignore their obsessive concern with social status, writing it off as typical female behavior. It's assumed these women's desire for a so-called high-value relationship is normal, but this assumption leads us to miss the oddly distorted belief of some's entitlement to rub shoulders only with the best. In the narcissistic woman's mind, she's a catch, a 10 out of a 10, and she's owed a partner or friends of similar caliber. Female narcissists' partners and exes are often reluctant to share the private details of these abusive relationships. Real men don't get hurt, and these prejudices make it nearly impossible for them to share incidences of abuse, whether it's emotional, physical, sexual, or spiritual.
Now, what she was saying was that the real men that be in the relationships with these women, then I'm probably not going to tell you about how stupid it was, because they don't want to feel stupid by telling you that. And I can attest to that because I've been one of those type of guys. I've been with narcissistic women, and I'm like, man, please. Ain't no sense in me telling the rest of this story, because it's like this woman was doing stupid shit and I was just trying to help. So ain't no sense in making myself look dumb. So that's what it is on that one. But guys, I want to get the point across tonight. Most women are some form of narcissist. So if you watch this video and you saw the beginning of it, where the women where I went through the whole little list of everything, and I showed you how all the women have these traits. They have these traits. All the traits that I was pointing out in the beginning, women have these traits. The majority of them. If most guys that are watching this see this, you could tell me the majority of women have those traits. The things we went through over the videos, you know that most women act like that. So I'm gonna do this right here. On my way of closing out tonight, and I'm gonna say, look, just drop the comments, let me know what you're thinking about this if you watch the whole video. Because the whole thing of it is this right here. Most women got narcissistic traits. That's why I had to pick the videos from guys, because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of self-aware narcissist women, but they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to. So I just want to kind of put that out there tonight. So look, guys, there's a lot of women out here that are narcissists. Most women are narcissists in some form of view, some kind of way, because I just got done showing you the damn traits of it. And then I got done showing you the videos and hearing what people saying. And you know that women are doing all this stuff. So what we're going to do is on the close out of this right here. Remember, most women are some form of narcissist. And today you got to look at some of the reasons why. If you agree with these reasons, let me know in the comments. If you don't agree with the reasons, drop the comments, let me know. But we're going to be out of here on this one, y'all. It's Uncle Scrooge, Taurus Downey. And I hope y'all got something out of this lesson today. But the thing of it is most women are some form of narcissist. And when you go ahead and admit that to yourself, it makes it easier to deal with them. So I'm Taurus Downey, y'all. This is that Go Hard or Go Home channel, aka Uncle Scrooge. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.